What's going on YouTube? GKLGames here, and today we're back with another video. And on this video we have a very special video. I got a very special thing to show you guys and reveal here with you guys. So why don't we go ahead and get started, because I really want to show you guys this and I'm very excited to see this whole thing. So why don't I go ahead and grab it here for you guys, which is the PS5 controller. Yes, I got the PS5 controller early. Well, when I pre-ordered the PS5, we actually accidentally pre-ordered the controller because it was already in the cart, and my dad didn't want to lose the PS5, so he already bought it. So we got the controller early, and I really wanted to make a review to you guys, show you guys the difference, compare it to the PS4. So before we get started, don't forget to like this video, comment down below if you're excited for this new generation. Remember, in the next week I'll post a video on the whole week about the Xbox and the PS5 because I pre-ordered both of them, so I'll be making reviews, unboxing, showing you guys the interface and everything. But why don't we go ahead and get started? Okay guys, here we are with the box of our controller. But I just want to tell you guys that some of you guys may know, if you follow me on Instagram, you would know that I went back to GKLGames. I was GKL Nerd Talk for like a week, but I noticed you guys didn't like that. Some of you guys did not like that change. So I'm going to be back here on GKLGames, and this time uploading video every single day of gaming content. So why don't we go ahead and get into this unboxing? I made a little montage for you guys. So why don't we go ahead, watch that, and then we review the differences between the controller and the PS4. But first, I just want to tell you guys the features that are in this controller, because there are three major things that you are going to want to know if you're picking up one of these bad boys. So this controller has haptic feedbacks, which means, let's say you're playing a racing game, so the controller is going to get heavier or harder depending on where you are. If you're driving in the mud, if you're driving like on the street or something, it's going to feel different. You're really going to feel like you're in the location or wherever you're playing the game. This controller also has adaptive triggers, which means if you're playing a game with a bow and arrow, for example, if you're pulling the arrow, the triggers are going to get a little bit harder for you to push or pull. There's also parts where the trigger is actually going to stop you. You're not going to be able to do it. Maybe if you run out of ammo, maybe in a bow game or something. Not every single game is going to have that, but sometimes when you run out of ammo, you're just not going to be able to press the trigger. It's just going to stop you. This famous gaming company actually already got to try out this controller on a game called Godfall, which if you guys want, I can bring it to you guys in the channel here on release. Godfall seems like a really fun game. And they said that, for example, when they were holding a sword, the controller was really light. But when they got a hammer, for example, the controller was very heavy. So this is something that I'm very excited to play, but unfortunately we can't really check it out because we don't have the console. But why don't we go ahead, without further ado, and open this thing already. Okay guys, here we are with this controller, and oh my god, look at this. We got our first ever look, or the first feel of the new generation. And one really cool thing actually from this controller is that if you notice, they have like little dots, and if you have a microscopic camera, you can see that those are actually X, triangles, circles, and squares of the PS4 buttons, for those who don't know. And it's just amazing, the immense amount of detail. You can't see it. You can't see it. Like if you're just looking with your blank eyes, there's no way to see it. But if you really zoom in with a microscopic camera, you can see all the buttons. I'll show you guys a picture on it in the screen right now. And it's just so amazing. Sony paying so much attention to the details. One thing I do have to notice though is that the buttons seem bigger, I guess you could say, and they're also standing out more, which is something I really like from the PS4 controller. The buttons were too thin or into it. I got here a PS4 controller so I can show you guys the difference. So for example, the options button is too thin for me. I didn't really like it, this button, but as you can see, they stand out more here on the PS5. They're actual buttons. Another cool thing is that when you turn this one on, the lights are actually on the sides, as you guys can see. So I really want to know how it's going to look like on the other Joy-Cons, maybe the red version, the other versions. And one maybe disappointing thing is that, as you can see, on the PS4 controller, we have the colored buttons over here for the blue for the X, red for the circle, pink for the square, and green for the triangle. Well, here we're going with a full plain gray. There's no really difference. There's no color schemes, anything. The only color in the controller is over here. We don't know yet. Who knows? I have this theory that maybe when you plug it in, the controller actually turns on. There's going to be light on these things, but there's nothing confirmed, so we can't really tell. The controller is also not round down here. It's actually flat. As you can see, this one is round over here for the PS5, for the PS4, but the PS5 one is flat. This controller does have a microphone that's made into it, so this is actually really good. It's an input microphone, so for those who can't afford or like they don't want to spend their money on a microphone, this controller does come with a microphone. The microphone is actually located in the back over here, and you have the button to mute yourself. Cool thing also is that the power button over here for this is, for the PS4 was a circle, but for here we actually got the PlayStation logo, which is something very cool. You still have the feature of the sound on your controller, so some games you maybe have voice lines or something that you can hear through your controller, so it's a very cool feature still there. Got the earphone jack right here, same thing with this PS4 remote. That was really much like the big difference you can note. Of course, like the triggers over here, I noticed they are very much bigger. Like as you can see, they're bigger. And the controller right here, like the joysticks, they're actually a tiny bit smaller, you could say, I think. I mean, it looks like they are, but I don't really see that much of a difference. They look a little bit smaller, but they are thicker. Like, the joystick is a little bit thicker. One thing I have to say, though, is that this controller is way too similar to an Xbox controller. Those Sony fans that are always like, oh, Sony controllers are way better than Microsoft Xbox controller sucks. Well, you will feel a big difference. I don't feel much of a difference because I'm used to playing on Xbox and PlayStation. I have both of them. So there's really not that much of a difference for me. But those who only play PlayStation, they're going to feel a big difference coming into this new generation with a new controller. Everything's just bulkier. And I have to say, this design does look better than the PS4. I mean, people were worried that the white was going to look bad with it. But I really don't. I think that it's a very cool, clean controller. Only problem I do have to say though about the white is that it's going to get dirty easier. A lot of people are complaining because if you're one of those people who get home after the work, your hands are dirty or whatever, and just grab the controller, eventually it is going to get dirtier. When you have the black, for example, you really don't notice. But if you have a white controller, you're going to notice it very easily. So yeah, you're going to have to be careful with the controller. I like the design you see. You can also see it has a kind of like a 3D, I guess you could say. It just stands out pattern right here. It's a very clean controller. I'm actually surprised. When I first saw it, I had mixed feelings about it. Now that I'm holding it on my hand, it's actually a really good controller. I'm still not used to like this flat bottom, but I actually really enjoy it. I was grabbing the PS4 controller, and one thing I have to say is that this one is heavier because of all the mechanics that's inside of it. One thing too is that when I grabbed it and I hit it accidentally with my hand, you can actually feel the stuff that's inside of it. So like it shakes a little bit. There's a little bit of the, you know, it's a very cool, very clean controller, and I can't wait to see how about the other colors. I want to see how other custom controllers are going to be. Maybe they're going to make a full black one. Maybe they're going to make one with the colors, and I really like. They also have the share button right here. Every single button you have on your PS4 controller is still here, so there's really not that much of a difference between these two controllers, except the bulk here and how now the touchpad is not going to be useless. For example, right here, only some very little short amount of games had use of the touchpad on the PS4. Right here on the PS5, you're going to be using this for a lot of games, trust me. So it's actually a very cool thing. The charging port over here is now a USB-C port, which means you're not going to be able to use the same charger that you use for your PS4. A lot of the new generations of phones have, if you have Samsung, have USB-C ports. If you have an iPhone, unfortunately, yours does not work. But if you have a Samsung, I'm pretty sure like S9 and up, or like S10 and up, I have an S10 Plus, they will fit in here, so it's perfectly fine. One thing I have to say, the box just bugged me a little bit, as you guys saw on the unboxing. Usually for the PS5 or for the PS4, you have the plastic around the controller, and that's pretty much it. This one, it was actually inside a cardbox board, inside a cardbox box. So it's very weird, but nothing comes in the box except the controller. There's that little paper that we get, but nothing else. This is pretty much it that you get from the controller, and that's the first feelings that we're getting from the PS5. I have a huge announcement to make that next week. Since I already pre-ordered, I'm going to be making videos over here, live streams. I will be making videos on the new Spider-Man Miles Morales games here for you guys, trying out all the features. So I can't wait to make videos for you guys. You guys can make such high quality content. And this week we're starting back with GKLGames. Tomorrow gaming videos, gaming videos every single day. I have to say, this controller, in my opinion, wins over the PS4. I know we had such good memories with this PS4 controller. I just can't imagine not playing anymore, because like in a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, people are gonna stop playing PS4. Not completely stop, but it's gonna be like the PS3. You rarely see people playing it nowadays. So in a couple of years, this thing will be the most common and popular, and unfortunately, our PS4 generation will be gone. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think of this new generation? What is your expectations for this new generation? As soon as we get the Xbox on November 10th, I'll be bringing a video as soon as I'm done with school. I'm just going to bring you guys a video here in the channel. Unboxing, I'm going to bring a video showing you guys the interface, showing you how to add friends, how to talk to your friends, everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.